Welcome to Basic Electronics class 27. So we were studying the current voltage equation for a MOSFET, and we discussed that the current voltage equation for the MOSFET is basically given by these three equations. The drain to source current is 0 if VGS, the gate to source voltage, is greater than the threshold voltage VTH. Okay, ITS is equal to capital Kn to VGS minus VTH times VDS minus VDS square. Okay, and this equation is valid if the MOSFET is in the triode regime. So if VGS is greater than VTH, greater than equal to, and VDS is less than VGS minus VTH. So this is the condition for the triode regime of the MOSFET. Okay, and the third equation is IDS equal to Kn, capital Kn, VGS minus VTH square, and this is valid in saturation. So if VGS is greater than equal to VTH and VDS is greater than equal to VGS minus VTH, and again this is the condition for the saturation regime of the MOSFET. And we saw that capital Kn, that is these parameters in this equation, this capital Kn is basically given by capital Kn equals to W mu n Cox divided by 2L, where W is basically the width of the channel, and it is evident that the current would increase as the width of the channel would increase. Okay, and mu n is the mobility of electrons inside the channel, and Cox is basically the capacitance of the oxide per unit area. So Cox is basically equal to epsilon ox by Tox, where Tox is basically the oxide thickness, just as we discussed last day, and epsilon ox is basically the permittivity of the oxide, and epsilon ox is equal to Kox epsilon 0 divided by Tox, where Kox is the relative permittivity of the oxide. So Kox is basically the relative permittivity of the oxide, and Tox is the oxide thickness. And for silicon dioxide, this Kox is basically equal to 3.9, approximately 3.9 for silicon dioxide. Okay, and considering this MOSFET figure over here, let me again point these things out. L is basically the length of the channel, that is the approximate difference between the source and the drain. So this length is basically L. This we have discussed last day. And W is the width of the channel. So this distance is basically W. This is the width of the channel basically. And Tox, as it is shown here, this is the oxide thickness. Okay, this is Tox basically. So Tox is basically the thickness of the oxide. So this is our oxide layer basically. Okay. Okay. Now this Kn, capital Kn, as I told earlier, is written as W mu n Cox divided by 2L. Now mu n Cox is written as small kn. So this gives me small kn W divided by 2L, where this small kn is basically mu n times Cox. Mu n is basically the mobility of the electrons induced in the channel or induced in the inversion layer, and Cox is basically the oxide thickness per unit area. Okay, and this Kn, this small Kn, is basically a system or a material parameter. For example, for silicon, not exactly material parameter, but I would say more of a system parameter actually, or technology parameter. Okay, or it can be said as the process parameter. Process parameter because the thickness of the oxide basically depends on which process we are using to fabricate the MOSFET, and so this one is known as the process parameter. So the thickness of the oxide basically determines this Cox. Okay, and the thickness of the oxide basically depends on what process we are using for fabricating the MOSFET, and that is why this is also known as a process parameter. And capital Kn is basically known as the conduction parameter. So this is basically known as the conduction parameter. And this small kn, since just as I stated that the small kn depends on the process which we are using to fabricate the MOSFET, this is known as the process conduction parameter. So process conduction parameter. Okay, so we have discussed about the current voltage equations for the MOSFET, and now let us look at the symbol. So a symbol for a MOSFET is kind of similar to a BJT, but there are some differences. Okay, so since the MOSFET is a 3-terminal device, we have the source, we have the gate, we have the drain here, and then we have this source. So these three are the terminals of the MOSFET. Now the drain to source is basically connected because there is a current flow between the drain and the source, and the gate is basically insulated in case of the MOSFET because there is a oxide insulation layer between the gate and the body of the MOSFET. So no current can actually flow from the gate into the body. This we have actually discussed earlier, that the presence of the insulating oxide layer prevents any current flow between the gate to the body. So there is no current flow into the gate. Okay, so that is why here we actually indicate it with a gap. Okay, so this gap basically indicates the oxide layer or the insulation basically, and this gap basically means that no current would flow between the gate and the body, or between the gate and the drain or the source. Okay, so this is the usual diagram or schematic, not exactly schematic but symbol of a MOSFET, of an n-channel MOSFET, that is. And to denote the direction of flow of current, we basically put an arrow over here, that current is flowing out of the source. So we basically put an arrow over here, and we sometimes add the fourth terminal here, which is also known as the body of the MOSFET, and the body is generally sorted to the source. So this is generally connected to the source. This terminal is for the body terminal, and this is generally shorted to the source, so it is shown connected to the source. And the body is basically a p-type material, and we know that in a p-n junction current can actually flow out of the p-type material into the n-type material. So current basically flows out into the p-type material from the n-type, current can actually flow from the p-type material into the n-type material, not in reverse direction. Okay, so that is why we actually put an arrow in this direction, okay, to actually denote that current can actually flow out of the body. Okay, so this is the again complicated symbol of the N channel MOSFET. A simpler symbol can actually be given by this, where we have three terminals. Generally the body is not shown in the diagram, or simply we can sometimes omit the arrow over here also and simply denote this N channel MOSFET by this symbol. So we have drain, we have source, and we have gate. So these are the symbol for N channel MOSFET. Okay, so we'll now do some problems. So we have this 10 volt source here, and then we are connecting the MOSFET in the voltage divider biasing circuit. Okay, this is the same voltage divider biasing circuit that we have learned for the BJT, that we have a drain resistance here, and then we have this MOSFET, this N channel MOSFET, and then we have another source resistance here, and here also we have a resistance R1, and here we have a resistance R2. And this point is grounded. So it is given that R1 is equal to 32 kilo ohms and R2 is equal to 18 kilo ohms, and RD is basically 4 kilo ohms. So this is RD, which D denotes the drain. This is equal to 4 kilo ohms, and this is RS, which denotes the source resistance. RS is equal to 2 kilo ohms. Okay, so note that this arrow over here, this is actually put at the source. Actually, just like in a BJT, the arrow is put at the emitter. So here also the arrow is actually put at the source, and the arrow basically denotes the direction of current flow. So in an N channel MOSFET, the current actually flows from the drain to the source, and current basically gets out from the source. Okay, so that is why this arrow is actually shown to pull the current outwards. So the current is flowing out of the source basically. Okay, in an N channel MOSFET, the current flows into the drain from the external circuit, and the current flows out of the source to the external circuit. So this arrow basically indicates that the current is basically flowing out of the source to the external circuit. Okay, so here the properties of the MOSFET are given to be VTN, the threshold voltage VTH, or VTN also we can write. So here it is written as VTN actually, so we are writing it as VTN, and this is given to be 0.8 volts, and this capital Kn is given to be 0.5 milliamperes per volt square. Okay, so now we have to solve for VGS, ID and VDS. So VGS, ID and VGS. Okay, these three quantities we have to basically solve for in this problem. So let us actually do this problem. So we know that in a MOSFET, no current actually flows into the gate because we have this insulating layer over here. That is why no current can actually enter the gate terminal. So the current flowing into the gate is basically 0. So I again repeat, this is our drain terminal, this is the source terminal, and this is the gate terminal basically. So the current flowing into the gate is 0. So the voltage at this point, which we can write as VG because it is connected to the gate. So VG can be written by a very simple equation. So Vg equal to R2 divided by R1 plus R2 into 10 volts. So this 10 volts multiplied by R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So this gives us 18 divided by 18 plus 32 into 10 volts, which is basically equal to 3.6 volts. Okay, now this current ID is basically given by capital K, the conduction parameter, into VGS minus VTN whole square. Okay, this equation we have seen earlier, provided that our MOS is actually in the saturation. Now here actually I do not know whether the MOS is in the saturation regime or the triode regime. So we are just making an initial guess that the MOS is in saturation. If it is not in saturation, then at the end of our problem solution we would get some contradiction. Okay, so we are initially assuming that the MOS is in saturation, and we will solve the problem according to that. If we later get a contradiction, then we can understand that the MOS is not in saturation. So we will then assume that the MOS is in triode regime and solve our problem according to that. But initially we are assuming that the MOS is in saturation. So assuming the MOS is in saturation. Okay, so this is basically the current that is flowing through the MOSFET, and this VGS is basically equal to VG minus VS. So we get capital Kn VG minus VS minus VTN whole square. Now this Vg we have already calculated that this is 3.6 volts. Okay, so we put here Kn is equal to 0.5 milliampere per volt square. Vg is equal to 3.6 volts. And Vs, what is the value of Vs? We can actually write that Vs is equal to Id into Rs, where Rs is this resistance, and the Rs is equal to 2 kilo ohms, so 2 Id, where Id is in milliamperes basically. So minus 2 Id minus Vtn is equal to 0.8 volts, which is basically given over here, minus 0.8 square whole square. Okay, so we basically get a quadratic equation that Id is basically equal to 0.5 into 3.6 minus 2 Id minus 0.8 square. Okay, so we basically simplify this part, and we basically get Id equals to 3.92 minus 5.6 Id plus 2 Id square. Okay, so this gives me 2 Id square minus 6.6 Id plus 3.92 equal to 0. So we now have a quadratic equation which we can solve. So Id square minus 3.3 Id plus 1.96 equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. We can solve this equation by the well-known formula. Id is equal to 3.3 plus minus root over 3.3 square minus 4 into 1.96 divided by 2. So we have two solutions because of this plus minus sign here. So this is 3.3 plus minus 1.746 divided by 2, and this is in milliamperes actually, because Kn was in milliampere per volt square, so this must be in milliamperes. So we get two answers here, one for the plus sign and another for the minus sign. The plus sign gives me 2.523 milliamperes and this minus sign gives me 0.77 milliamperes. Okay, we have two answers here. Now let us actually check that whether this 2.523 milliampere, whether this satisfies the conditions. Okay, so let us check that over here. So using this 2.523 milliamperes, let us check what is the value of VGS. Okay, so assuming ID is equal to 2.523 milliamperes, VGS is basically VG minus VS, and VG was 3.6 volts minus VS is 2 into ID. So ID is equal to 2.523 volts over here. So this is minus 1.446 volts, which is actually less than the threshold voltage VTN. So it is evident that if we have this value of ID, then the gate to source voltage is less than the threshold voltage of operation for the N-channel MOSFET. Okay, so this ID equal to 2.523 milliamperes, this might be a mathematical solution, but this is not a physical solution, because if ID is equal to 2.523 milliamperes, then VGS is equal to minus 1.446 volts, which is less than the threshold voltage of operation of our MOSFET. Okay, the threshold voltage VTN was equal to 0.8 volts. So of course my MOSFET cannot conduct any current if the value of VGS is minus 1.446 volt. Okay, so this might be a mathematical solution, but this is not a physical solution. So ID equal to 2.523 milliamperes is not a physical solution. Okay, now let us assume the other solution for ID. The other solution was ID equal to 0.77 milliamperes. Okay, so in this case VGS is equal to again VG minus VS. VG was 3.6 volts and VS is 2 into ID, so 2 into 0.77 milliamperes, or sorry, 2 into 0.77 volts actually, because this 2 is basically the source resistance RS, so this is 2 kilo ohms actually. Okay, so volts here, which is basically equal to 2.06 volts. So this is greater than the threshold voltage of operation of the N-channel MOSFET. Okay, so this is a physical solution, because here the value of VGS is actually 2.06 volts, which is greater than the operational threshold voltage for the N-channel MOSFET. Okay, so ID equal to 0.77 milliampere is a physical solution. Okay, so this is a physical solution. So in this problem we were asked to find out the value of this VDS, ID and VGS. So we have already found out this value of ID and VGS, assuming that the MOS was actually operating in saturation. Now let us actually find out the value of VDS and see that if the MOS was originally operating in saturation, or if the MOSFET was originally operating in the saturation regime. So VDS is basically equal to 10 volts minus ID into RS plus RD. So if you have forgotten the figure, let me show it to you. So this voltage VDS is basically equal to this 10 volts minus the voltage drop across this resistor RD minus the voltage drop across this resistor RS. Okay, so 10 volts minus IDRD minus IS IDRS. Okay, so this current ID is basically flowing both through RD and through RS. Okay, so 10 volts minus ID into RS plus RD. Okay, so this is basically equal to 10 volts minus 0.77 into RS was 2 kilo ohms and RD was 4 kilo ohms. So this is equal to 5.38 volts. Okay, now VDS is 5.3 volts and VGS minus VTN. So VGS was basically equal to 2.06 volts and VTN was equal to 0.8 volts. So this is equal to 1.26 volts. Okay, so the condition VDS, so VDS is actually greater than equal to VGS minus VTN here. Okay, so this is, let us say, 1 and this is, let us say, 2. So from 1 and 2, so from 1 and 2, VGS is greater than VDS is greater than equal to VGS minus VTN. So the MOSFET is actually operating in saturation. So we had actually made the current initial assumption, or we have assumed it correctly, that the MOS is actually operating in saturation. So our initial assumption that the MOSFET was operating in saturation is actually correct. So the MOSFET is actually, or originally, so let me write it in some other way. So our assumption that the MOSFET is operating in saturation regime is actually valid. Okay, so this is basically our answer, that ID is equal to 0.77 milliamperes, VGS is equal to 2.06 volts and VDS is equal to 5.38 volts. Okay, so these are the three answers. So now we will be doing another problem. So here we have a MOSFET. The gate of the MOSFET is basically grounded and the source is connected to a constant current source IQ. And then this drain is basically given a voltage of 5 volts over here. Okay, and the information that is given to you is that for the MOSFET, the conduction parameter Kn, capital Kn, is basically 0.5 milliamperes per volt square. The threshold voltage VTN is equal to 1.2 volts. IQ is equal to 50 microamperes. Okay, and you are asked, so these three are basically the given information, and you are asked to find out the value of VGS and VDS. Okay, so this is basically the problem. Now let us actually see whether this MOSFET is in the triode regime or in the saturation regime. So we see that the gate is grounded and the drain has a voltage of 5 volts. So Vd is equal to 5 volts and Vg, the voltage at the gate, is basically equal to 0 volts. So Vd is basically greater than Vg minus Vtn. Okay, this is already evident from this two information over here and this information over here. Okay, so Vd is greater than Vg minus Vtn. So this implies that Vds must be greater than Vgs minus Vtn. So the MOS is basically in saturation. So the MOSFET is operating in the saturation regime. So we are now sure that the MOSFET is basically operating in the saturation regime. So we would be using the saturation equation for the MOSFET, and here the drain current ID is basically equal to IQ, and IQ is equal to 50 microamperes, which is equal to 0.05 milliamperes. Okay, and ID in saturation is given by the equation capital Kn Vgs minus Vtn whole square is equal to 0.05. Okay, now Kn is equal to 0.5 milliampere per volt square. So Kn is basically equal to 0.5. Vgs is Vg minus Vs and minus Vtn. Now this is equal to 0.05. Now Vg is basically 0 because the gate is basically grounded over here. So this equation becomes minus Vs minus Vtn. So minus Vs minus Vtn whole square is equal to 0.05, which implies that 0.5 Vs minus Vtn square is equal to 0.05. So Vs minus Vtn is equal to, let us write the square over here. This is equal to 0.1. So Vs minus Vtn should be equal to plus minus root over 0.1, which is equal to 0.316. So plus minus 0.316 volts. Okay, so now Vs is basically equal to plus minus 0.316 volts minus Vtn. So plus minus 0.316 volts minus 1.2 volts, which basically gives me minus 0.884 volts and minus 1.516 volts. So like the previous case, here also we have two solutions, one for the plus sign over here and one for the minus sign over here. Okay, so we have two equations. Now let us see that which solution is actually valid out of these two. If Vs is equal to minus 0.884 volts, then Vgs is equal to Vg minus Vs, and Vg is basically equal to 0 volt because the gate was grounded. So which is equal to minus Vs, and this is equal to minus 0.884 volts. So this implies that Vgs is less than Vtn. Okay, so this cannot be true because the MOSFET is in cutoff if Vgs is less than Vtn, so no current can actually flow through the MOSFET, and that is why this solution is basically not a physical solution. Now on the other hand, if Vs is equal to minus 1.516 volts, in that case Vgs is again equal to Vg minus Vs, which is equal to minus Vs equal to 1.516 volts. So in this case VGS is greater than VTN and VTN was basically equal to 1.2 volts. Okay, so in this case VGS is basically greater than VTN. So Vs equal to minus 1.516 volts is the correct solution. Okay, so if Vs is equal to minus 1.516 volts, then we were asked the value of VGS and VDS. So VGS is basically equal to minus Vs because the gate is basically grounded, so it is 1.516 volts, and VDS, the drain voltage is basically 5 volts over here. This is given to be 5 volts. So VDS is equal to Vd minus Vs, and Vd is basically 5 volts minus 1.516 volts. So this basically gives me 6.516 volts. Okay, so we have solved this problem. Now let us go to our third problem. So this problem is also similar to the previous one, well, almost similar. So we have a MOSFET and the drain is basically connected to this constant current source IQ. Earlier the source was actually connected to this constant current source. Now this drain is connected to this constant current source IQ, and then this MOS is basically connected. The source is grounded here and the gate is actually shorted with the drain. So this is basically the configuration of this MOSFET, and we are basically given with the information that capital Kn, which is the conductance parameter, is basically 0.5 milliamperes per volt square. Vtn is equal to 1.2 volts and IQ is basically equal to 50 microampere. Okay, and this point is the drain, so we have the drain voltage here and here we have the gate voltage basically. Okay, and you are asked to find out the value of VGS and VDS just like the previous problem. So VGS equal to question mark. Okay, now in this case we see that the gate and the drain are basically sorted. Okay, so the gate and the drain are connected with each other. So VDS, this voltage VDS, so this is Vs which is grounded. So VDS is basically equal to Vd minus Vs, and this must be greater than Vd minus Vtn minus Vs. Okay, so this quantity is greater than this quantity over here because we are subtracting this Vtn. Okay, now Vd and Vg are basically the same because this gate is basically shorted with the drain over here. Okay, so then Vd minus Vtn is basically equal to Vg minus Vtn minus Vs. So this is equal to VGS minus Vtn. Okay, so we get the equation VDS is basically greater than VGS minus Vtn. Okay, so the MOSFET must be operating in saturation again. So the MOSFET must be operating in the saturation regime. Okay, now we get the equation IQ. So IQ is equal to the drain current. So this is equal to 50 microamperes, which is equal to 0.05 milliamperes. And the drain current is equal to the conduction parameter times VGS minus Vtn whole square. This is equal to 0.05 milliampere. Okay, and Kn is basically equal to 0.5 milliampere per volt square. So 0.5 VGS minus VTN, this is equal to 0.05. So square over here. So VGS minus VTN square is equal to 0.1 volt square. Okay, so VGS minus VTN is equal to plus minus root over 0.1 volts, which is equal to plus minus 0.316 volts. Okay, so we again have the same solution, that VGS is equal to plus minus 0.316 volts minus VTN, and VTN is 1.2 volts. So this is equal to, we have again two solutions for the plus minus signs. One is 1.516 volts, and okay, sorry, we have actually plus sign over here because VGS minus VTN is basically equal to this quantity. So VGS must be equal to plus minus 0.316 plus VTN, and VTN is 1.2 volts. Okay, so we have two quantities over here. One is 1.516 volts and another is 0.884 volts for the minus sign. Okay, so now let us check out which one is the physical solution. So we have two solutions and both the solutions cannot be physical solutions. So let us check out which one is the physical solution. If VGS is equal to 0.884 volts, in that case then VGS is less than the threshold voltage of the MOS. Okay, so VGS is in this case less than the threshold voltage of the MOSFET, because the threshold voltage is actually 1.2 volts. Okay, so VGS equal to 0.884 volts cannot be the physical solution. So this can't be the physical solution, because if this is the physical solution, then the MOSFET is actually operating in the cutoff regime, so it would not conduct any current. So this cannot be the physical solution, because it is already stated that a current of 50 microampere is actually flowing through the MOSFET. Okay, now if VGS equals to 1.516 volts, then VGS is basically greater than VTN, so the MOSFET is operating in the saturation regime. So this must be the physical solution. So this must be the physical solution. So we have found out the value of VGS. Now to find out the value of VDS, so since the gate and the drain are shorted, therefore VGS is equal to VDS. Since the gate and the drain are shorted with each other, therefore VDS equals to VGS. So VDS equals to VGS equals to 1.516 volts. Okay, so this is the answer basically. Now let us go to our next problem. So here we have this 9 volt source which is connected to the drain through this resistor RD, and again a current source IQ is actually tied to the source, and this is set at minus 9 volts over here, and then the gate of this MOSFET is actually grounded. Okay, so you are actually asked with the information that what is the value of VDS. So VDS, and you are provided with the information that VTN is basically equal to 0.6 volts, and the conduction parameter Kn, capital Kn, is basically 200 microampere per volt square. Okay, so these two things are actually given to you. So you are asked this value of VDS, and you are also provided with the information that this resistance which is connected to the drain is equal to 24 kilo ohms. Okay, so this is basically the problem over here. Now we first have to determine that whether the MOSFET is actually operating in saturation or it is operating in the triode. Okay, so we have to see if we can determine that. So now this is VD, VS, and this is VG. Okay, and this current is basically ID. Okay, now from this circuit we can understand that ID is equal to IQ, because a current IQ is getting out of the source. So the drain current, which is equal to source current, must also be IQ. So here ID is basically equal to IQ, and IQ is given to be 25 milliamperes, so 0.25 milliamperes. So IQ is equal to 0.25 milliamperes, and you are asked to find out this value of VDS. Okay, so the drain voltage VD is equal to 9 volts minus the voltage drop across this resistor RD, so ID into RD. So this is equal to 9 volts minus 0.25 into 24 kilo ohms. So this basically gives me 9 volts minus 6 volts, which is equal to 3 volts. So VD is equal to 3 volts. Now VG is actually at 0 volts. Okay, so again we follow the same rule that VDS is equal to VD, or VDS is basically greater than VDS minus VTN. Okay, and VD is basically greater than VG. Okay, the drain voltage is basically greater than the gate voltage, because the drain voltage is basically 3 volts and the gate voltage is basically 0 volts, because the gate is basically grounded. Okay, so VDS is greater than VDS minus VTN, which is basically greater than VGS minus VTN. Okay, so we arrive at this conclusion that VDS is basically greater than VGS minus VTN. Okay, because this VD over here is basically greater than VG. VD is 3 volts and VG is basically 0 volts. So the MOS must be operating in saturation. So the MOSFET must be operating in the saturation regime. Okay, so we now know that this MOSFET is basically operating in the saturation regime. So now we will use our equation accordingly. So ID is basically equal to IQ. This implies that Kn VGS minus VTN whole square is equal to IQ, and IQ is 0.25 milliamperes. Okay, now Kn is 200 microampere, which is equal to 200 microampere per volt square, this equation, and which is equal to 0.2 milliampere per volt square. Okay, so we discard the unit over here. So 0.2 into VGS minus VTN. Why we convert it into milliampere per volt square is because we have this unit milliamperes over here. So the units on both the side of the equation must be consistent. So that is why we convert Kn from 200 microampere per volt square into 0.2 milliampere per volt square, because we have this milliampere over here on the right hand side of the equation. So on the left hand side of the equation we convert it into milliampere per volt square. Okay, so this is basically equal to 0.25. Okay, so VGS minus VTN must be equal to plus minus root over 0.2 divided by 0.25 volts, and on solution this basically gives me plus minus 0.89 volts. Okay, so VGS is equal to plus minus 0.89 volts plus VTN, and VTN here is equal to let me just check it. VTN is equal to 0.6 volts. So plus minus 0.89 volts plus 0.6 volt. So we have two solutions here, one for the plus sign and another for the minus sign, and the two solutions are 1.49 volts, which is for the plus sign, and another solution is minus 0.29 volts for the minus sign. Now we have to check which one is the physical solution. Okay, because mathematically we are getting two solutions, but we have to check which one is the physical solution and discard the solution which is not physical. Okay, so if VGS is equal to minus 0.29 volts, then VGS is basically less than VTN, because VTN is 0.6 volts. Okay, so if VGS is equal to minus 0.29 volts, then VGS is basically less than VTN, and so in this case the MOSFET is in the cutoff regime, which is invalid for this problem. Why is it invalid for this problem? Because we already know that a current IQ is actually flowing through the MOSFET. So if the MOSFET is in the cutoff regime, then the current through the MOSFET must be 0. But here it is already stated that the current IQ is basically flowing through the MOSFET. So this cutoff regime is not valid in this case. On the other hand, if VGS is equal to 1.49 volts, then VGS is greater than VTN. Okay, so the MOSFET in this case is in a conducting state. Okay, so VGS equal to 1.49 volts must be the correct solution. Okay, now you are actually asked to find out the value of VDS, but we have found out the value of VGS. Okay, so we have found out that VGS is equal to 1.49 volts. Okay, now note that in this problem this gate was actually grounded here. So in this problem the gate is actually grounded. So VGS is equal to VG minus VS. Now VG is basically 0 because the gate is grounded. So this is equal to minus VS, and VGS is basically equal to 1.49 volts. So equating these two, minus Vs must be equal to 1.49 volts, which implies that Vs is equal to minus 1.49 volts. Okay, now VDS is basically equal to VD minus Vs, and VD we have actually found it earlier that VD was equal to 3 volts and Vs is equal to minus 1.49 volts. So minus of minus 1.49 volts. So this is equal to 4.49 volts. So we have basically found out the value of VDS. So VDS equal to 4.49 volts is basically the correct answer over here. So let us do up to here today. Thank you everyone.